Today I'm going to teach you how to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. The denominator is the bottom part of a fraction, and you know that when we subtract fractions when they have like denominators, all you have to do is subtract the numerators and leave the denominator the same. In this case, we are subtracting fractions with different denominators, 4 and 10 for 3/4 and 6/10. Things to remember: you always add or subtract fractions with common denominators only. You do not add them when they have different denominators or subtract them with different denominators. You have to change them first. And the LCD, or the least common denominator, is found by finding the LCM, least common multiple, of the denominators. Step 1. Find the LCD. So we have 3/4 minus 6/10. 4 and 10 are my denominators. We need to find the LCD, which is the same thing as LCM. So we use that common LCM tree, or that ladder we used to do, and we have 4 here and 10 here. 2 goes into both 4 and 10. 2 goes into 4 2 times, goes into 10 5 times. And so you have left with nothing else goes into 2 and 5 together. So you have 2 times 2 times 5, which equals 20. 20 is your LCD. Now, step 2, you take that LCD and you put it as the bottom number of the fraction. So you put it as 20 and 20 for both, and you want to find equivalent fractions that have that denominator. So 3/4, you have to change it into something over 20. Well, 4 times 5 is 20, so what you do to the bottom, you do to the top. So 3 times 5 is 15. So we have 3/4 is equal to 15/20. You go the other one, 10 goes into 20 2 times, 6 times 2 is 12. So you have 15/20 minus 12/20. This means the exact same thing as 3/4 minus 6/10, but because the denominators are the same, we can now do the operation. Remember, what you do to the top, you do to the bottom of a fraction. Step 3, subtract the numerators. Okay, so now we have these fractions with common denominators. To do the subtraction itself, you just use the numerators. It's really just 15 minus 12, and that equals 3. The 20 stays the same throughout. You do not ever subtract the denominator, or add it for that case, in a fraction problem. The denominator stays the same. Step 4, you simplify whatever that difference that you found was. In this case, 3 over 20 is already in simplest form, meaning there are no common factors that go into it. Yay! Here's what your work would look like if you were doing it on a test. So we'll take the one we already did, 3/4 minus 6/10. This is what how I'd actually show my work. This is my original problem. Oh, I wanted to find the LCD, so I did that as my step 1. I wrote it down as what I want my new fractions to be. I changed these by figuring out what I multiply by, times 5 times 5, times 2 times 2. Then I did my subtraction, 15 minus 12 equals 3. And I put that as my numerator and kept that LCD as my denominator. I would have simplified, but it's already in simplest form. Looking at another example, we have 8/12 minus 4 over 24. Well, in this case, the LCD I found was 24. Both numbers go into 24. 24 times 1 is 24, so 4 times 1 is 4. 12 times 2 is 24, so 8 times 2 is 16. So my real problem is 16 over 24 minus 4 over 24. 16 minus 4 is 12. My answer is 12 over 24. But wait, this is not in simplest form. There are plenty of common factors that can go into it. For example, 3, 4, 6, 2. But really, the greatest common factor, which is what we divide by when trying to find the simplest form, is 12. So I'll divide the top and the bottom by 12, and I'll get 1/2. And that is my answer. And that is how you subtract fractions with unlike denominators.